They think to tie the knot, get together, make it legal. And their union is blessed, you'll be glad to hear. And a little baby onion, tiny little cocktail onion is born. And this means, of course, that the father onion has to put in more time at the shipyard, extra shifts. You know what it's like. Mother onion, much encumbered with other work around the place, and this and that, and the baby onion isn't as well supervised as he might have been, and as baby onions will, the door being left open one day, rolls out, across the sidewalk, right into the path of a sodding great lorry, flattened out, rushed to hospital. A team of surgeons fights all night to save his life. Mother onion, out of it, heavily sedated. No more, can't take it, gone. Father onion rolling up and down the corridor outside. The emergency room going like this, wearing a little groove in the ghastly hospital carpet. Towards dawn, the flap doors open and the surgeon comes out, pulling the mask from his head and dashing the perspiration from his eyes, and says to the father onion, who rolls up anxiously and says, "Well, what? Tell me, is he what?" He says, "No, he'll live. But I'm afraid he's going to be a vegetable for the rest of his life." Neither completely clean, nor filthy, nor, you'll be noticing, I hope, nor short, nor brief. No cue cards, right? Nothing. Just a second here. So you wouldn't believe how dry it is backstage. So I have to leave you with this, because you have been a really great audience, I'm going to say. Even though you will laugh at anything. This is the longest joke I know, and I'm giving it to you. It's a kind of a free gift. Anyone who remembers this joke will know how to tell it at any length from now on. You can build in new wings to it and new extensions to it if you want. I'll give you the condensed version. Picture, if you will, the romance that kindles between a young man and a young woman. Her eye is first caught by his extraordinary courtesy. He will always take her coat. He will always open the door. He's always unfailingly polite. He's a man of extraordinary consideration. He finally talks her into the sack. You can build in the extensions later if you want. So extraordinary is the convulsion of pleasure to which he brings her, and the attention that he pays in order to bring this off, if you will, that she lies hardly daring to speak and says, I never knew that it could be this way with a man and a woman. I just wish there was something I could do to please you as you've pleased me. And he says, well, as a matter of fact, there is something you could do if you cared to. And she said, well, just name it. And he said, I kind of wish you'd give me a blowjob. And she says, no, I wish you'd said anything but that. Something tells me that if I do that, it won't be the same between us. You won't respect me. You won't admire me, esteem me, revere me in the same way. You won't defer to me. So he's a gentleman. He takes it very well. This is the first date. It goes on like that. It goes on like that for for a year or so, and it's always the same. And you can do your. And every time she says, "I can't tell you," and if only, and he says, "Well, actually, since you mention it," and no, but she says, "You won't. You just. I know it won't be the same. You won't respect." They get married. The honeymoon night is a torrential tribute by him to her, of every conceivable attention. But in the meantime, always the door held open, always the taxi door held open, always the coat taken, always the deference and the tenderness. But even on a honeymoon night, she won't. She just won't, because respect is a big thing. The 10th anniversary comes. See how I'm leaving you the room now. The silver wedding. I think we're talking about the pearl anniversary. Takes her to Cancun or Cayman Islands, I don't know, somewhere beautiful, the finest suite, the limo, the thoughtful, well-chosen gifts, the door held open, the attention, the courtesy, and the unfailing pleasuring. And finally, she lies back and she says, again, in a dream of bliss, "You've given me all these decades of love and care and tenderness and sex. And I just wish, if only I could, requite this in some way." And he says, "Well, you know what? I know I've mentioned this before, but if you could just see your way to..." And she thinks, really, why not? What can it hurt? So, in what is still an almost maidenly manner, she falls to, she does her best, and it's pretty good. And then it's over and she thinks, "No, that was wonderful. I should have learned to please him like this before. And I should never have worried about his attentions, his courtesy, his deference." And they're lying there unable to speak in this dream of mutual assurance, and the phone rings. And it rings and rings and rings and keeps on ringing in their suite, and he says, "Aren't you going to get the phone, cocksucker?" Well, it's been real, and you've been very patient, and I salute you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.